I'm going to just jump in at number 1, which is just, I need you to think your way through problems, right? You're going to get to your Regents in June. There's going to be at least 5, 7 questions that you're going to have never seen something that's exactly like that before. But I will always promise you, you know enough to figure it out. You just have to learn how to think on your own as opposed to memorizing all the different types of questions that you've seen. So this one, for example, is a great example of what I'm trying to get at here. You have a quadratic, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. They do not give you any information about the numbers a, b, and c. Which of the following must be true about the values of a, b, and c? So let's talk about a. Can you raise your hand if you can tell me something about a? What do you know about a based on the fact that this is the graph? Jordan. Negative. Okay. Anything about b? Where does b play into anything? Mason, open your eyes, please. Do you know anything about b? What does b help us figure out? All right, we're going to come back to that one because I don't think we need it. What do we know c is? A is negative because this opens down. What does c always give you? Y-intercept. What do you know about the y-intercept? It is positive. So just based on those, A and C, 2 we're going to ignore for a second. A times C. 2 and 4 both involve B, so we're going to ignore those. But A times C. A negative times a positive is always a negative. So A times C is a negative. Is a negative less than 0? Always. So 3 is correct. Okay? A plus C is hard to know because you've got to know the magnitude of it. Sometimes a negative plus a positive is still a negative. Sometimes a negative plus a positive is a positive. So you don't really know when you're adding. You need to know more about the magnitude. So that one's tough. But here's what you do know about B. Negative b over 2a gives you what? The x-coordinate of your vertex. So what do you know the x-coordinate of your vertex is right here? Is that a positive or a negative? So a positive equals negative something over 2 times the negative is a negative, right? So what does our b value have to be? A positive number or the negatives? This negative's for the equation. But if we want this to overall be a positive, we want a negative positive, right? We want b to be positive because then the numerator will remain negative. Divided by a negative will give us the positive that we want. So b has to be positive. So a positive times a positive will not be less than 0. B times c actually has to be greater than 0. Okay? So, a lot of thinking, a lot of kind of figuring out what you need to know, but you know all those things, or I've taught you all those things. It's up to you to study them and be able to apply them. Okay? Now, 100% of the Algebra 2 exam won't be those kind of questions, but like I said, you're going to come to a number of questions and you can't panic and be like, I have no idea. You do know. Dig into what you know about stuff. Okay? Number 2 gives you the height of an object, asks you when it's above 350. Graphing is the easiest way to do that. Plug it in on your calculator. You're going to get something like this as your height function. Plug in 350, you'll get a horizontal line and figure out where it's above. So from here to here, it's above. So just do your second trace intersect and you'll figure that out. Number 3, the larger root. Okay? So find your 2 roots. Again, you could do the quadratic formula, but you could also do it on your calculator. You could find your two roots based on your zeros and just take the larger one. This one, where is it decreasing? Well, if you didn't have a calculator, you could do it by hand because the vertex is HK. Yes? 617? And it opens down. So if 617 is right here, and it's got a negative A value, it opens down, it's decreasing from 6 to infinity, which is this one. Okay, focus directrix. Okay, always a sketch. Here's my focus. Here's my directrix. Where's my vertex? Focus directrix. My vertex is always halfway in between. Where's my vertex? 0, 3, right? Halfway in between. So which one can I eliminate? 2. Does my parabola open up or down? Up. So now what can I eliminate? Oh, nothing. These were all positive x squareds anyway. And now I just need to find the 1 over value, right? How far away are my focus and directrix? 2 units, so double that, you get 4. So what's my answer? 1/4. Yep, 4. And the last one we'll get through, number 6. If you have a circle whose center is at 5, -3, relax. 5, -3, and then we have 7, -8. There's the center, and your circle does this. How do we find the radius? Length. What did the video tell you? Pythagorean theorem. Draw a leg, figure out that that's 2 and that that's 5, and do the Pythagorean theorem. Because you won't remember the distance formula, I can promise you that, in June. We don't use it enough, but you'll always remember the Pythagorean theorem. Okay, so test tomorrow. That packet, review packet, finish your homework. Let me know what questions you have prior to class period tomorrow, because we are not